that fragmented segment only, the entire organism can grow itself. It is similar to budding, but yet not budding, because here we can actually differentiate the part of that body. So the fungi, the filamentous algae, the protonema of mosses all easily multiply by fragmentation. When it comes to unicellular organisms like bacteria, unicellular algae or amoeba, reproduction is synonymous with growth, because these unicellular cells will not only grow in size, but they will also divide themselves as a result of growth. And that division will only be counted as a reproduction. All right. So, with that, we are moving on to the next part, that is increase in number of cells. We have already defined growth as equivalent to increase in cell number or mass. Hence, we notice that in single celled organisms, we are not very clear about the usage of these two terms, growth and reproduction. Further, there are many organisms which do not reproduce, such as mules, sterile worker bees, infertile human couples, etc. Hence, reproduction also cannot be an all inclusive defining characteristic of living organisms. Of course, no non living object is capable of reproducing or replicating by itself. So, what we have understood here is that while reproduction is a very strong characteristic of living organisms, it is not alone a sufficient defining parameter, because a lot of the living beings cannot reproduce. The examples are given, and those examples are important for you to remember. The easiest one would be infertile human couples. Now, the third point here is another characteristic of life is metabolism. Now, all living organisms are made of chemicals. These chemicals, small and big, belong to various classes, sizes, functions, etc., are constantly being made and changed into some other biomolecules. These conversions are chemical reactions or metabolic reactions. There are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all living organisms. Yes, as we breathe, our oxygen is carried through nose and converted into so many different types of elements in our body that we are not yet aware of. But every tiny reaction that is taking place in our body is occurring as a result of metabolism, right? So, inside all living organisms, be they unicellular or multicellular, this metabolism is occurring. All plants and animals, fungi, and microbes exhibit metabolism. The sum total of all the chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. That means anything and everything that is, even the tiniest chemical reaction that is occurring in our body, is called as a metabolic reaction. And if we are to take all the metabolic reactions, all the chemical reactions together, it is together known as metabolism. Okay, no non-living object exhibits metabolism. So this can therefore be a defining character. Doesn't it seem like that? Metabolic reactions can be demonstrated outside the body in cell-free systems. An isolated metabolic reaction outside the body of an organism performed in a test tube is neither living nor non-living. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms, without exception,